Call the meeting to order. We'll do a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Except for Washington, D.C. Roll call, Mrs. Franks.
Mayor Kindle.
Present.
Councilwoman Costantino. Absent. Councilman Jenny.
Here.
Councilwoman LaPratte.
Here.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Present.
And Councilman Toussaint.
Present.
Not acting. City Manager Szymanski.
Here.
And City Attorney DeWally.
Here.
Okay.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'll offer the motion to receive, approve, and file the minutes of the regular city council meeting held July 14th, 2025, and to receive and file the Board of Review meeting held on July 22nd, 2025.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public comment on agenda items only. You can speak on what's in the agenda.
Hello, my name is Teresa Foster. I live on Woodland. I'm talking about the contractor for the sidewalks, that you're replacing them. Is it possible? I have a handicapped person on my street that has to go into the street to go around the piles of dirt that was left from the last contractor. And it's not very safe, because he has to go down one driveway and pass two more and come up another one. With the speeding going down the street, it's not a good idea. And he was told that to leave it. And the grass seed they use, I had to kill all of it because it was crabgrass seed. Is there a way that we can upgrade the seeding to grass instead of weeds? Because it cost me $60 to kill that. Now I have to reseed it myself. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to speak on agenda items only? Hearing none, let's move on to consent agenda. I need a resolution.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
make a resolution to approve consent agenda items 1 through 12. Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that we are, am I in the right place? Yes. There it is, Grosse Pointe Animal Adoption Society, $6,608 for 1 month. It still seems very unfair to Harper Woods. It does not change any of the amounts that they originally required us to pay. My question is, by paying this as a month to month, do we have a contract with them?
Our contract ended June 30th. However, we have an informal agreement. They are having some operational challenges at GPAS right now. They have been working closely with our Director of Public Safety to ensure that no stray dogs are running through the city. That would be a disaster at this point with all the construction that we have going on. And so we're taking it on a month-by-month basis right now as we speak.
Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I noticed that there's a check, this would be,
I didn't understand you. What did you say?
there's a check, another check to Oakland Community College for 2 police academy tuitions. Is this for the same 2? Or is this for 2 new? It's for the same
Chief,
guys?
would you like to make a comment?
Guys, women.
Which item are you?
It's
referring
Oakland
to?
Community College, where it's for 2 police academy, but I know we paid, we had a check at 2 meetings ago.
Correct. Yeah, there are not 2 more tuitions due.
Okay.
I'm
this is
assuming
for-
it's the same one.
Same one, okay.
Correct.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Ms. Frank.
Madam Mayor,
Yes?
just a quick, just curious. There was a check made to Argon Oxygen Cylinder. It looks like we rented it twice, one from Argos for $312 and Blue Water Industrial for $49. One for DPW and one from HWFD. What is an oxygen cylinder for?
They use them for blowtorch.
Right.
Okay, just curious what those were. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, that takes us to old business, and we have none. New business, city managers report.
Okay, new business, item number 1, 2024 audit presentation. Mayor and council, representatives from Yo and Yo will be in attendance to present the 2024 audit report. The audit report and related materials have been provided to you under separate cover. It is recommended that these be received and filed. Mayor, a motion is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes?
I'll offer the motion to receive and file the 2024 audit financial report as submitted by the city's auditors, Yo and Yo, and also receive and file the management report.
Support.
Okay. The discussion will be with them making the presentation. Thank you.
Well, good evening. Thank you for having me here tonight. My name is Jamie Rivette. I am an audit partner with Yo and Yo CPAs, and this is our first year of auditing your financial statements. So on the first slide we have here is just some information about myself. I've been with the firm for over 25 years, and I specialize in government audits. If you could go back one page, please. Thank you. So I just wanted to talk about really what I'm here tonight for, and that's because you're looking for an audit opinion, and it has to be made by an independent licensed CPA firm. And really, it's management's responsibility for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles, which I always say are the rules that you have to follow. And then as your auditors, what happens is my team and I come in and we audit that information presented, and then we issue you an opinion on those financial statements. And the city was issued an unmodified opinion, which is the highest level of assurance. It means there's no material modifications that need to be made to those financial statements. Now, on the next couple slides, we'll just show some graphs and pictures that we have from where your general fund revenue is coming from. We'll talk about some of the expenditures, and also have a couple slides on your water sewer fund as well. So the first pie chart I have in here is your general fund revenue. So the city received about $14.7 million in general fund revenue. And from this picture, you can see about 71% is coming from taxes. So that includes about $5 million in property taxes and another $5 million in your police and fire assessment that the city receives as well. And then you have state grants, which makes up about 17%, and the majority of that is your state shared revenue that you receive from the state of Michigan. Now, on the next slide is the general fund expenditures. So these are the funds going out of general fund. And the biggest section here is general government, and I do want to point out that that just includes about 7 different functions of the city. That includes your insurance, retirement, and then also general services for administration is included in that. And then we have public safety, which is making up about 37% of your general fund expenditures. The majority of that is related to law enforcement, which is about $3.7 million. On the next slide, I've charted your revenue and expenditures for the general fund going back to 2020, just to kind of see what the picture looks like. And I want to point out, right now in 2024, the revenue and expenditures are in line with where you were in 2022. So 2023 is just throws a wrench into the information we have, because during 2023, the city did receive a significant grant for the Michigan Pension Grant, which was about $8.7 million. So that was a net zero. So you got increased revenue and increased expenditures. That is the way the state of Michigan required you to report that in your general fund, and that had to be recorded as such in 2023. So that's why you see that significant increase from 22 to 23 for both revenue and expenditures. And then in 2024, we're back in line with your revenue and expenditures of where you were in 2022. On the next slide, I have your general fund balance. So this increased over last year because your revenue exceeded your expenditures in your general fund approximately $650,000. And we do have unassigned fund balance as of December 31st, 2024 of approximately $3.2 million, which is roughly 24% of your general fund expenditures, which is right where the GFOA says that is a healthy fund balance for a municipality. They said that should be in the 20 to 25% range, and you are falling right within that percent. Now, my next slide I have is looking at your water and sewer fund operations, and these funds are treated more like a business. So they actually record capital assets and long-term debt within them, unlike the general fund that we just kind of talked about. In your water sewer fund, we focused on operations. So we looked at operating revenue and your operating expenses. So operating revenue, if you're looking at the blue line, it did increase slightly over last year, about $350,000, and that really was due to some rate increases that the city had in 2024. Now, the expenses, you can see, had a significant decrease, and that was due to part of that Michigan pension grant had to be recorded in the water sewer fund, which decreased your expenses because the water sewer fund actually records debt. It is different, it's reported differently than your general fund and in a different year, which is very unlikely of what the state typically has us do when they give the city grants. So this is a very unique situation. I would anticipate next year in 2025 that your expenditures being more in line for operating expenses to where they were, closer to where you were in 22 and 23.
Jamie, may I?
Sure. Yes.
Jump in here?
Mhm.
It looked as if our expenses were, as you say, higher than our revenue, which is not a situation we want to be in. And if this is going back to pre-2024 numbers coming up, are we going to anticipate the expenses are going to be more than our revenue again?
So we only audited 2024.
Right.
That was what we were hired to do. And then that year, actually, your revenue exceeded your expenses.
Right.
In that year. In 2023, the reason that the expenses were so high is they were pretty in line with 22 to 23, and I don't have an answer for that because I didn't audit that year.
Right,
So
no.
I don't have an answer, but I know the significant decrease this year was because of the way we had to record the pension grant. So we actually decreased your expenses by about 1.7 million and reduced your liability for the net pension liability in 2024.
Okay.
So-
I don't know if it makes sense for me to ask the city manager that question then. Do you anticipate that
Okay.
our revenue is going to be?
Well, can we allow her to finish her presentation and then it'll
Yeah,
be
well,
discussions?
Yes, I'd just like to be able to come back to this then and ask about that.
That's fine.
Sure,
Please.
thank you.
Hmm.
And-
Madam Mayor, I have a question for her.
Excuse me?
I have a question for her.
Okay. I kind of want you all to hold your questions, let her finish her presentation, and then go back and let her answer the questions.
What you said, so I don't want to.
Please go on.
Okay. Okay, the next couple of slides I have are on the funding for your pension and your OPEB. So on this slide, we have what your funding is for your pension. So we have the liability, which is about 57.4 million. So that I want to just point out is a significant estimate with a lot of expectations built into it. So your actuary has the life expectancy of everybody that's in the pension plan, of when they're going to retire, how long they're going to live, also the investment rate of return too. So we rely on a specialist, the actuary, to do that calculation, and then we just record it as properly in your various funds. So it's in your water sewer fund, but then it does not show up in your general fund due to the various types of accounting rules that we have to follow. So you are almost 61% funded due to the increase in that pension grant that you received, helped you get to this point. So I just wanted to point that out. So you are have liabilities of about 57.4 million, and then we do have some fiduciary net positions. So those are specific investments that are set aside to pay for this future liability of about 35 million. And then we also have the other post-employment benefits fund, which is your retiree health care funding. And that we don't have investments set aside to pay for that, as other municipalities, same situation. Some do and some don't. And you do have about 13.8 million in the actuary calculated liability for that as well. And then my last couple slides are on some information that you all have the packet of audited information in front of you. So there is this loose leaf letter that I do encourage you to read. This is the governance letter. It's stapled, and it should have been with the audited financial statements. So it does just talk about the significant estimates and the financial statements being some useful lives of your capital assets, and then the pension and OPEB. It talks about some new standards. So the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, they're always coming out with these new rules that are keeping us on our toes and making sure we're following all the rules and getting them implemented. So we did adopt 2 new standards this year. And I know you rely on the help of Plant Moran to make sure that you are in compliance with those as well. And we worked very closely with their team during the audit too. And then my last slide that I have is in the governance letter, we always have some recommendations. We list any findings that we may have. And we had one item that was a material amount of a budget overage that was really just a clerical error on the calculation for a budget overage in the general fund and the refuse fund. So we did document that in there of just having the budget and the actual. And we passed on a couple of small audit adjustments, so those are insignificant to the financial statements as a whole. You will see those in there. I just like to point that out because I feel council reads the letter and they read it, and it does kind of sound negative in nature, but those past adjustments are not. They are immaterial to the financial statements as a whole and do not play any important role in those numbers of those financial statements. And then last but not least, I do want to thank John, Maria, and Kim for all of their hard work and professionalism. I know the first year of having new auditors come in, it's stressful, and it's a lot of questions and getting information, and I hope we felt the first year went very smooth, and we appreciated all of their help. Now, are there any questions that I could answer?
Yes, I had a couple of questions for
Sure.
you. One of them I think you've already answered, but I was going to ask you, because you said the pension grant started in 2023, and that's why the amount was so high at that time on our when you reported that now 2024, it's seemed about right. So we're still receiving the pension grant?
No, that was a one-time grant from the state of Michigan. I mean, I'm saying one time because that's what they had told us. That, I mean, who knows what the future might bring. But they did look at all the communities that were less than 60% funded, I believe, and then they went in and they gave grants to various municipalities to get them up to that 60% funded percentage. So you did receive it in 2023, but because of the different reporting rules for your general fund and water sewer fund, that's why you're seeing them in 2 different years. Mm-hmm.
Another question, when you were on the general fund, What percentage did you say we were at?
20, the percentage of fund balance, so
Yes,
your
fund
fund balance is, your unassigned fund balance was 24% of your general fund expenditures.
Okay, you said that's about in line.
That is in line with what the GFOA, the Government Finance Officers Association, really had put out a recommendation to say, you know, this is typically what a healthy community would have, about 20 to 25%. Now, if you are planning to remodel, you know, City Hall or do some other big projects, then that number should be higher, right? We should see a bigger number in there if you don't have funds set aside to pay for that, if it's coming out of your unassigned fund balance.
Okay. And my last question had to do with recommendations.
Mhm.
So the more we get the audit report, there's always a list of recommendations. And I wasn't exactly sure.
Yep, so
It's in this one, right?
that's in this letter. And we didn't have any, so we usually have, if we find something we feel would be a way to improve, we would have a management comment and recommendation. And here we went through all of our risk-based auditing, our internal controls, followed all the requirements of the audit standards. And the only thing that we identified was what I mentioned, there was 2 budget overages that with the state of Michigan we have to report as such. So those are documented on page 5 in that letter.
All right, thank you.
Councilwoman Sawicki?
No, I didn't have my hand up. Oh, you mean when I was asking, yes. If you don't mind, my turning to our city manager to ask about that water and sewer fund operation, which I think also may have something to do with the overages that we were seeing in the issue of things not being balanced properly. My question is, next year, when we no longer have that pension grant helping to offset our costs, are we going to anticipate the revenue once again being lower than the expenses?
We're gonna go through that, our team here. The last thing we wanna do is raise water rates, so we're gonna probably look at allocations, I wanna say to the sewer fund. The general fund's a little bit healthier than it was in the past, and we'll see if we can absorb those costs in the general fund and relieve the pressure on the water fund and not increase anybody's water rates.
All right, because, because otherwise we end up, I mean, no matter what, this is getting paid out of our general fund, correct? If we don't meet it otherwise, it's gonna be coming out of our general fund? The
No.
water and sewer, or is that?
Well, like I said, it's, we're going to look at lessening the allocations to the water and sewer fund. They would be absorbed by the general fund. And we're gonna just balance that out, see how that looks. The very last thing we wanna do is raise water rates for residents and the businesses here.
And if you don't mind, Madam Mayor, just one quick question for Ms. Rivette?
Rivette.
Rivette. You had mentioned that 24% of expenses, you know, in our general fund balance is good for healthy community, but you also mentioned that if we plan to use it, we need to have that higher, right? And so because it's only, what, a $4 million balance over and it's taken us a while for that to come up after 2018, you know, because we took quite a hit. But my question is, what would you recommend because we have a few, you know, we're hoping to do a community center, we're hoping to do, you know, and those are some major expenses. We hope not to take it out of our general fund, you know, but what percentage do you recommend to a community that wants to use some of their, you know, money to do projects? Is there anything that you would, you know?
Yeah,
I know
well,
that's
it
a very
depends on how
general
much,
question.
how much are you looking to spend? Do you have any grants that are gonna offset that? You know, what is going to be the sustainability of whatever you're gonna build? You know, is that gonna cause an increase in expenses too? So it's a
It's
I don't
hard
really
for
have an
me.
answer for that, yeah. If I could go back to your question on water sewer about the revenue and expense, so I do want to point out that my slide is only operations, so that's only the customer fees. It does not include state grants, and you did get like 1.5 million in state grants this year. So if that continues and you get more state grants in the future, my slide is purely operations, so it does not, we call that non-operating when you get a state grant. So your sewer and water fund was not in the negative, you know, with those grants, you had 1.5 million of state grants coming in. Now, obviously, those need to be used for specific purposes and expenses in the water sewer fund, but I just want to point out, I don't think, you know, if you do get those grants, that general fund would have to subsidize your water sewer fund. So
Thank you, I
just wanted to,
appreciate that
yeah,
insight.
clarify, my slide is purely operations.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Okay, all in favor of accepting the presentation and the audit report? I need, okay, it's all in favor, because we already did the motion, we asked for the motion, so all you need to do is vote now. So all in favor of accepting the presentation? Aye or nay? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Jamie. Okay, item, new business number 2, appointment of finance director, treasurer, and deputy finance director. Mayor and council, presented before you are the individual employment contracts for the following employees and their new roles in the city administration. Finance Director Maria Naraki, Deputy Finance Director Cedric Robinson, Treasurer Kim Keogh, Margot Jackson, Water Billing Manager. These promotions are a necessary step in the succession planning that lies ahead for the city of Harper Woods. The first 3 candidates are charter promotions and require separate employment agreements. The Water Billing Manager follows the T-POEM collective bargaining agreement and does not need an employment contract. All of the above employees will receive specialized training to adequately prepare them for their new employment role. The city clerk and I plan on meeting with the partners and government finance specialists from Plant Moran to craft a concise operation plan going forward shortly after tonight's meeting. The wages, working conditions, and benefits are all outlined in the individual employment agreements. I recommend approval of the employment contracts and promotions as stated in this transmittal.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
I'll make the resolution.
yes.
To confirm the city manager's appointment of Kimberly Keogh as city treasurer, Maria Naraki as finance director, Cedric Robinson as deputy finance director, Margot Jackson as the water billing manager, and further to approve the individual employment contracts.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Mm-hmm.
I know that in looking at some of the titles that, that are, you know, here, that the compensation, you know, the Michigan average salaries for these compensations, it makes me curious in terms of some of the compensation on average is lower than what we will be affording the employees. And so there is one, I know that these, you know, Maria and Kim, at least, I'm not as familiar with Cedric, I don't know him quite as well, but I know Maria and Kim have been here for quite a long time and have worked as their interim position, so they've been doing this job for quite a while. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think probably from 2021. Is that correct, John?
They have actually been doing it, parts of it longer than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and so I don't have a problem necessarily with the compensation, although I believe that a raise is kind of built into this process. And anyway, what I was going to suggest is the title of treasurer accurate, or should it be like treasury management officer? That seems to be more compensatory with the job that she is going to be required to do. And I also have a question in terms of the raise. Have they received a raise when they took the position on, and how long it's been?
Okay, these are positions that are outlined in our city charter, but the job duties have expanded considerably over the years. I want to say there was a time when there was a separate finance director, separate treasurer, then a finance director and treasury. Titles were merged. Now the jobs in all the city administration, they have grown to the point where they're highly specialized. And again, you know, this is succession planning. We have to have people here. They get job offers probably bi-weekly from other communities trying to raid our people, for lack of a better word, and that's going on. You guys, you're the auditors, you see that across the whole entire state of Michigan. I'm trying to keep them here, okay, and I'm grateful to have them here, and like I said, they're going to be trained in the new ways of doing business in the future. We're not going to get stuck in the past, that's for sure.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. My question is, does the title of treasurer accurately describe what Ms. Keough would be doing? Or should she be given the title treasury management officer?
You know, it doesn't matter to me. She takes in the money.
I get it. It's
Yeah.
just-
Requires a treasurer.
It's just that as the treasurer, traditionally, that would fall under the finance director in most organizations. And I think that the way that we operate is really that the finance director and the treasurer are pretty much similar, on a similar level, right?
Yeah.
One is
They
not.
work,
They
they
work
work together.
yeah, they work
very,
together.
very
But
closely.
one is not answering to the other.
Correct.
Okay, and
Correct.
so as I read it, according to everything that I've seen, you know, from other communities, it sounds as if the title of treasurer doesn't fit, that it would actually be more in line to give her a title such as treasury management officer, which has a higher compensatory, you know, average than what she would normally be getting as a treasurer. Let me just make it clearer. The average treasurer in the state of Michigan gets $75,800, the average treasurer, right? City of Hamtramck pays their treasurer $82,000. Lansing pays their treasurer $115,000. And at the rate that we want her to receive, the salary that we want, it's more in line with the treasury management officer that has a salary in the 90s, which she would be receiving. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem changing the title, Kim, if you, I wouldn't have, as long as nothing else has changed.
But it's, what is
The
it?
charter,
The charter
The
is,
charter requires the title of
Yes.
treasurer.
yes, it does, to collect the taxes
it says,
that would report at the pleasure of the
Right.
council.
Right,
And
well, either way,
The
okay.
finance director reports to the city manager.
Okay. Then I guess it just doesn't seem to be compensatory to what she's doing. Because, as I mentioned, treasurers, you know, in everything that I've read, treasurer would report to a finance director, and that's not the way that we're operating.
No.
All right. I just wanted to point that out because it just didn't seem quite fair. Anyway.
okay, is there any further discussion?
Yeah, Madam Mayor.
Yes?
You said for these positions, this is more to the city manager. You
Yes.
said they were going to be trained such as, aren't they already pretty much trained, or what are
Well,
some of the training?
they're stepping
Su-
into new
new-
roles
Right.
and responsibilities, some of which they haven't seen as of yet. And we have somebody from Plant Moran right here, one of the people that we're going to be meeting with, and we're going to design a path for success going forward to make sure that when we're in compliance with all the audit requirements, that we're up to date with tasks that need to be performed so that we could rely on accurate financial data, not things, we don't want to do this. Like when people do their taxes, they throw everything in a shoebox and they go at the end of the year and they pull it out and then they try to piece it together. We need to have this as a work in progress all through the year. So we need to have checklists developed, deadlines, timelines. Everything in finance is deadline driven. You have to be right on spot and you can't hold anything back. And sometimes things are not as prepared as you would like to have them, but they still have to go forth anyway.
Well, John, anyway, what I'm trying to say, will they be taking some additional courses, or? will they be taking-
Yeah,
Whatever it
they're gonna be
takes.
updated, they're going to be pointed in the right direction, and like I said, Plant Moran is gonna be guiding them right now.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilwoman LaPrat,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki,
Yes.
Councilman Toussaint,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Kindle,
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 3, State of Michigan Special Liquor License. Mayor and Council, the State of Michigan requires approval by a local governmental board to obtain and ensure compliance for all events that involve the sale of alcohol. The city plans to serve age 21 plus sips and spirits at the 2025 Blues in the Woods Festival on August 23rd at Johnston Park. The city will be using professional bartenders and is insured for up to $5 million general liability, along with a special event policy that protects the city in the event of over-serving patrons or serving patrons under the age of 21. Members of the City of Harper Woods Police Department will be in attendance at this concert. As part of the licensing process, City Council approval is required. It is my recommendation that this application be approved. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Don't everybody speak at once.
Madam Mayor, by resolution, approve the special liquor application in the amount of $50 to provide for the sale of liquor at the 2025 Blues in the Woods Festival to be held on August 23rd, 2025, and further to authorize the mayor and city manager to sign the application on behalf of the city.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Yes?
I don't see why we need to be serving, I have no problem with beer and wine. I often attend the music festivals up in Grosse Pointe Woods where they only have beer and wine. I don't see a need to have spirits being served also. I think that beer and wine is quite adequate. I think serving spirits just adds to, this is a family-friendly event, and that I think it's just going to add to our liability. I think that, I don't know why. I think that it's just not necessary. That's my opinion.
Madam Mayor?
Yes?
I feel the same way, actually. I'm also curious about how much the insurance will cost us. I know it's $50 for the license. We're getting $5 million worth of insurance. And on top of that, purchasing the alcohol, I think beer and wine is less expensive from my experience. And if we are making money on this event, is it going into the general fund? I guess when I think of hard alcohol, it just makes me a little bit more concerned. My husband used to defend homeowners and defend you know, businesses that were involved in dram shop, kind of legal issues, and it just seems to me that it's a lot more likely to occur when it comes to hard alcohol as opposed to beer and wine.
Madam Mayor?
Yes?
This doesn't, we did it last year. I don't think it caused any issues at all last year. None whatsoever. I don't know why they're making a big deal out of it this year. It's not a big deal. They don't have, nobody got drunk and made a fool of themselves last year, and I don't foresee it coming this year.
No, we have, like I said, we have professional bartenders.
Yes.
They will be bringing in the alcohol. We have the $5 million insurance policy anyway. And again, this is just a policy just in the event that patrons under the age of 21 would get served. I don't see that happening. And over-serving of patrons, I don't see that happening. It didn't happen last year. Our police were there, everybody had a good time, and, you know, we just want that to continue, that's all.
And in actuality, we didn't sell that much liquor
No.
last
We really
year.
didn't.
Most people still bought more so beer and wine, and they had cocktail drinks, so a lot of people did that, but
These are the high noons and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That's
so-
that's what they're looking at.
anyway, you know, we had no problems last year. I see no reason why we shouldn't do the same as we did last year.
And the money that is raised through that, the sale of beer, wine, and alcohol?
That covers the bartenders and everything, that covers all
Right.
of their expenses. They come in, they set up, they take it out, they
It's
get
just
out.
it's just an added enhancement to us trying to establish a festival event here in Harper Woods. So,
You don't have a problem with it as a city attorney?
No, I don't. I mean, as long as you follow the rules of the state of Michigan for applying for your license, you have the proper insurance coverage, and follow all those rules. That's the law of the state.
thank you. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, Ms. Frank?
Councilwoman LaPrat.
No.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
No.
Councilman Toussaint.
Yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes?
Councilman Jenny.
No.
It's a tie vote.
Assholes. Ooh, Lord.
Well, we can talk a little more about it.
No, I guess we really, what can we do? Sharon?
It's,
Wait till Cheryl Constantino gets there and she votes. She's not here.
You're out of order.
you're out of order. You're out of order.
That's
You-
exactly what you do.
Out of order.
Deciding vote.
You know, Mayor, the gavel.
I know.
Tell him.
They're out of order.
Mr. Kress, please, you're out of order right now. I appreciate,
Oh, I've been over here. That's what any
please,
family would do.
please,
Go
please.
ahead, gavel. I love when you do that.
Madam Mayor,
Yes?
I mean, we go to the, so we have special activities over at the AMBES, and they serve liquor at all those, and nothing happens over there. I don't know why you think those people are more civilized than the people that go around parties.
Yeah, it's, okay.
The motion fails. If it's a tie, the motion fails.
It fails.
It failed.
Yeah, it fails.
I mean, it's tie vote, so it failed.
Madam Mayor, can this be adjusted so that it's serving beer and wine? Because I don't have a problem with beer and wine.
I don't know. I mean, this is a package deal. These drinks are about $15 a piece. You know, that's what they sell them for, and like I said, we didn't have any problem last year with this.
And
We
most
had our
people-
police department there, and there was no issue whatsoever.
And most people still bought beer and wine.
Madam Mayor,
no
one thing,
longer on the
were you
table.
people who opposed it,
It's no
were y'all
longer
there
on the
last year?
table.
I mean, did you see any
What did you
problems?
say?
It's no longer on the table.
It's no longer on the
Motion's
table,
failed.
just
It's
leave it
failed. It's
alone.
failed.
Fine, we move on.
Okay, new business item number 4, vacation of easement, North Point. Mayor and council, I was approached by North Point's management and investment executives regarding a detail that was overlooked while the Eastland project was in development. It has come to the forefront now because North Point is seeking to refinance a $140 million bond issue, and interest rates are changing weekly, so time and money are of the essence. The concern is over an old sanitary line that ran underneath Building 1, Eastland Commerce Center, while the mall was still operating. The line was demolished and rerouted to a new sanitary line during construction. North Point is closing out their final survey and needs an accurate legal description for debt financing. They are asking for a release by the city of the old sanitary line. This easement is about 10 feet by 200 feet and is located on the property under Building Number 1. I would like to add that this work for the new line was fully funded by North Point and serves the upstream buildings along Vernier, Jimmy Jazz, They Say, and the gas station on the corner. Again, this release is critical for their transfer to permanent debt on the Eastland project, and the time is fairly pressing. I have reviewed their requests with both our legal and engineering departments, and both have agreed it presents no problems on behalf of the city. I plan on signing off on the release and selling this easement to North Point for the cost of $1. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
make a resolution to approve the attached termination and release of easement in consideration of $1 to NP Eastland Commerce Center Industrial LLC of Kansas City, Missouri, and further to authorize city manager and city clerk to sign the necessary documents on behalf of the city.
Support.
discussion,
Madam Mayor?
yes.
I'm curious, I know we're releasing this easement area. Are we also released from any liability from this sewer that might, has pre-existed this new
Yeah,
building?
Yes.
everything, right now it sits under their building. And like I said, everything has been rerouted. They have paid for rerouting this line, and we just want to be in compliance, and so do they.
Okay, and I don't mind that, I just want to make certain that if it collapses at some future point, we're not responsible for that.
It's a different line.
Yeah, this is just, they completely moved that line. This is just the land that it would sit under, kind of like the same problem we had at Poe Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Ms. Frank.
Councilman Toussaint.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 5, first right of refusal, tax foreclosed property. Mayor and council attaches a memorandum from the Economic and Community Development Director requesting approval to purchase one tax foreclosed property from Wayne County, exercising our first right of refusal. As his memo states, this property will be purchased for a minimum bid of $8,909.50, and that a Harper Woods resident is interested in buying this property. I have reviewed this with him, and it is my recommendation that the city accept the property. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor?
Yes,
I'll offer the resolution to authorize the city manager to accept the 2025 first right of refusal on one residential tax foreclosed property in the amount not to exceed $8,909.50, and further to authorize him to sign any necessary documents pertaining to the sale.
Support.
any discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Madam Mayor, I have a question.
You had a question?
Yeah, on this property that we're selling to this person, But they can do anything they want to do with it. We'll ask them not to do it as rentals or not to do it as an Airbnb.
We're asking for it to be owner occupied,
Owner
yes.
occupied,
I
tax,
can't hear you. Somebody else was talking while I was,
It's-
owner occupied.
It's a requirement?
is that a requirement or they have an option?
I saw it, where did Ty go?
It's right there.
Ty, can you make a comment, please?
It can be owner occupant.
Yeah.
John and I checked with our attorney to ask the question, can we make this binding, that they have to sell it to a homeowner? And legally, we can't. So, the person is willing to sell it to a homeowner. That was the condition of sale, that was the agreement, and I expect him to live up to that.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank. Yes, you have a
Another
question?
Yeah, my only question is, we're taking it off our foreclosure list by paying the $8,900 and reselling it to this person. Why couldn't they have just bought it themselves?
We get the first pick of the property. What happens is if we turn it back, it goes to the
Land
Wayne
bank.
County Land Bank. It gets auctioned off. That takes forever and a day. We've done that with a property a few years ago on Rose Court, I believe. And the neighbors were thoroughly complaining because the county was a
Dragging
little
their feet.
derelict, okay, in keeping up the property, cutting the grass and everything else. So this turns it over, this puts somebody inside of it, and I want to say it doesn't go to pot, so to speak.
Any further questions? Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams,
Yes,
Mayor Kindle,
Yes.
Councilman Jenny,
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 6, purchase fire utility vehicle.
Where the firefighters?
Mayor and council, attached is a request to purchase a utility vehicle for use in the fire department. This vehicle will be outfitted and used as advanced life support unit. As the public safety director states, it will satisfy the contractual obligation to provide a utility vehicle and will also reduce wear and tear on the fire engine and increase response times for all medical responses. I have reviewed this request and concur with the recommendation to purchase this vehicle. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
by resolution to approve the purchase of a Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck from Sarah Chevrolet in the amount of $33,834 for use in the fire department with the funds coming from the city's opioid fund.
Support.
Okay, any discussion?
yes, Madam Mayor. Once they purchase this, I know they're gonna have to re-outfit it with whatever it is they need it to do. How much does that cost?
I believe that's all part of the package here, but the chief can add a few words to it.
The question was outfitting of the vehicle.
Yes,
We're going to do that after the fact. We just wanted to get this on, because this is a used vehicle that they're holding for us at the dealership. I can tell you it's going to be substantially less than what we pay for the police cars. It's only going to require lights and a radio inside, so it'll be under the $5,000 threshold. And so out the door, I estimate $33,000 for that. We'll definitely be under $40,000 total for everything. There's probably another $800 in graphics. Jim?
800 in graphics, and depending on how we outfit the cabinets for EMS,
Yeah.
probably close, I'd say closer to 45.
All right. Does that answer your question?
yes, thank you.
Any more discussion? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Roll call vote?
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 7, sound system upgrade, council chambers. Mayor and council, attached is a proposal from our current videographer, Bob Gray, outlining several options to replace the outdated sound system in the council chambers. The first proposal is to only replace the amplifier, with the second proposal to add additional speakers, and the third proposal adds a second amplifier, speakers, and an audio mixer to ensure full functionality. After careful review, I strongly recommend the city move forward with Proposal 3. This option provides the most comprehensive upgrade, ensuring clear, high-quality audio for both council members and the public. Investing in this solution will significantly improve the overall meeting experience and communication clarity. It is my recommendation that Proposal 3 be accepted as submitted. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Hallelujah. We've been needing this forever. By resolution to accept the bid submitted by Bob Gray of Robotronics to purchase the replacement equipment for the sound system upgrade in the city council chambers in an amount not to exceed $15,200. I'm surprised we're getting away that cheap.
All
Support.
right. Support. Discussion.
Madam Mayor,
Mhm.
I just have to say that the idea of it, as our city manager said, it will significantly improve the overall meeting experience. I thought that the public might appreciate that comment.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 8, approval of repairs, city-owned building, Kelly Road. Mayor and council, attached is a request from the DPW superintendent to make certain repairs at the city-owned building at 20010 Kelly Road. As her memo states, there are several issues with water seepage in the windows that need to be addressed, as well as the cement at the front entrance that is pitched toward the building, also causing standing water and seepage. Ms. Toussaint attempted to get 3 quotes for the work. However, only one company provided a proposal. I have reviewed the building condition report provided and concur with her recommendation that we accept the quote from Park Residential and Commercial Services and that competitive bidding be waived. Park Residential and Commercial Services were awarded the bid to provide the window upgrade at City Hall, and they did a fantastic job. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Make the resolution to accept the proposal submitted by Park Residential and Commercial Services in the amount of $54,049 for the repairs needed to the city-owned building at 20010 Kelly Road, and further that competitive bidding be waived in accordance with the city charter requirements.
Support.
Discussion.
Question?
Yes?
Oh, yeah, Madam Mayor, oh, yeah, I agree with this. I hope we can also, Teresa Foster's her request up there, I hope this can be considered doing this.
What did you say?
That's a different thing? Okay, never mind. Yes, sir.
Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Oh,
Yes.
And Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 9, award of bid, 2025 sidewalk replacement program number 180-367. We recently accepted bids for the 2025 sidewalk replacement program. The city engineer's bid tabulation and recommendation is attached. I concur with the recommendation that the bid be awarded to Hartwell Cement Company in the amount of $142,262.50. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
allow for the resolution to accept the low bid submitted by Hartwell Cement Company of Oak Park, Michigan, in the amount of $142,262.50 for the 2025 sidewalk replacement program.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I have to agree with what Ms. Foster said. We have a couple of blocks that were replaced on our street, that is sidewalk blocks, and the dirt is still sitting there, and the trenches along the sides of the sidewalk is still not filled, and this has been weeks. It's been weeks. And I know that cement cures a whole lot faster, especially sidewalk cement, which is not as deep as the cement that's needed for streets and for driveways. I did bring it to the attention of the DPW, and they indicated that that the company was going to be going through and finishing up whatever they needed to finish up. But I was alarmed at how long this was allowed to exist and really block the use of the sidewalks in the city. So I hope, and it wasn't mentioned here, I hope that Hartwell Cement Company is not the company that we currently are using. So can you confirm that this is a different company?
It is a different company.
And I just want to say that for that grant, for the TAP grant, we
Right.
had to use
Use
the
company.
contractors that the state of Michigan required us to use. These were
Yes.
not our picks.
No.
And yes, we're on them, and Heather, I know that you may want to have a few comments up here on behalf of that. We're not happy with their work either.
We have complaints all through the city. It's
We've
not
had
just
hundreds
your
of
street,
complaints.
it's all through the city.
So
that
the
they
company-
have just left piles of dirt and not cleaned up behind themselves at all. But it wasn't our
The company that was
choice.
awarded this contract is not the same company that is currently providing the work on our Phase 2 or our grant work. This company, Hartwell, is used in East Point. They extended their contract many years after, like we do a contract extension when we're satisfied with the company's work. Hartwell's been extended for years in East Point. Our engineers were happy with that. Santos was not considered.
Thank you very much.
Madam Mayor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my question, I guess Santos is the one that we have right now that did, okay. So when Santos is finished with their work in the next week or two, and there's work that still is left undone, Hartwell's gonna go back through and complete that? Or,
They were just there for a TAP grant. Now, this is complicated to understand, but we have 3 different pots of money
Right.
that we're working with. And we're exhausting these grants one at a time. The TAP grant was for very, very specific, I want to say sidewalk replacement due to tree roots heaving up the sidewalks. Now, there may be damaged sidewalks that are attached to them that would be fixed by this program or the next phase of the program, but not on the TAP grant. So that, you might have a situation where a couple sidewalks were put in with TAP grant money, the remainder will be put in with the city sidewalk replacement money. I hope that answers your question.
I hope so.
Yeah, it will be done right. It's a tricky little maneuver here.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki. I'm sorry, Councilwoman LaPrette.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 10, Introduction and first reading virtual currency ordinance. Mayor and council, as scams involving virtual currency become more common and harder to investigate, the city is proposing an ordinance to regulate virtual currency ATM machines operating within our limits. These machines have been used in fraudulent transactions that can harm residents. To help prevent such scams, a draft ordinance has been prepared. We would be only the second community in Michigan to adopt such a measure. Key features of the ordinance include mandatory registration of all virtual currency ATMs with the police department, a $1,000 transaction limit within the first 24 hours for new users. For transactions over $500, a required live phone or video call with a company representative, a business license requirement for operations. These safeguards, particularly the transaction limits and mandatory wait period, are designed to deter scammers. However, they are not a substitute for vigilance and common sense. It is recommended that this ordinance be introduced and placed for first reading. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Make the resolution to introduce and place for first reading an ordinance to regulate virtual currency machines in the city of Harper Woods, and further to direct the city clerk to publish a notice of this in accordance with the city charter requirements.
Support.
Discussion.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
We're the second city. Who's the first, and are we following their guidelines on what they did?
Grosse Pointe Farms is the first city, and we have modeled this after their ordinance.
Madam
Madam
Mayor?
Mayor?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I don't know anything about this kind of currency. And so-
Bitcoin.
Yeah, I've heard the term, but I've never used the product or wanted to. However, there's one thing that I kind of am curious about. I know that with a bank transaction, there's a limit to the amount of money you can get out and a limit to the number of times you can get money out in a given period of time. And that's the only thing that I don't see in here. It mentions a $1,000 transaction limit within the first 24 hours for new users. And for transactions over $500, a required live phone. But if someone is scamming a system and you don't have a limit on the number of times that they could go in, wouldn't that be like an easy call to just say, you know, I want $20 worth of these Bitcoins and at, 10 times? You get what I'm saying? Go back to the machine 10 times and get me $20 each time.
Well, we're putting restrictions there because Bitcoin, no one regulates Bitcoin. No bank regulates Bitcoin, no country regulates Bitcoin.
Right, I get it. I'm just wondering whether we should add in a limit to the number of transactions that can be handled in a 24-hour period. You get what I'm saying? Because you have to go to a live person if it's over $500, and a new user can't remove more than $1,000 in 24 hours. But I think that if someone was being pressured or scammed or whatever, and they were permitted to go back, they could go under the wire. They could get a couple $1,000 out of an account by going to the account several times. You understand my concern? I wonder whether it makes sense. You don't get it.
No, if you're limited in the amount you can get out in a 24-hour period,
Right.
it doesn't matter how many transactions you are.
Still 1,000.
It could be one, it could be 1,000 transactions. You're limited in the amount, which is typically what
For
your
new
bank does
users.
too.
For new users.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your bank does the same thing. They usually set an amount, not how many times you can go into your account, but they usually set an amount you can withdraw.
Madam Mayor? Since you put it that way, because this is new user, there shouldn't just be user. If you're going to just limit the amount for everybody, I should just be user, not just new user.
I have no problem with that.
I don't either.
what happened in the farms was that one of the elders' residents was scammed out of over $5,000.
I can see how that can happen,
And
too.
that is the reason that they came up with this policy. And so therefore, we're trying to get ahead of it. We've not had an incident here, but it sounds like a good thing because they're scamming our seniors every day. It comes from all different kinds of ways. So this is a preventive measure. Hopefully, no one gets scammed, but if they do, the loss will be less than $1,000, as opposed to someone losing $5,000 and $6,000. And some people have lost even more from other communities.
Yeah, I agree. Just take out the word new, just have the users.
That's fine.
Because it won't just be the new users who's being scammed.
That makes
Okay.
sense. So scratch the term for new users and just leave it at $1,000 limit.
Yeah, I agree with that. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 11, Milk River Operation and Maintenance. Mayor and council, attached are invoices from Wayne County for operation and maintenance of the Milk River Drain for April to June and July to September 2025. This is in accordance with the budget amounts set forth by the Drainage District. It is recommended that these two quarterly payments be approved. And before I ask for the resolution to be recommended, I know Council Member Tucson is going to say, why did we get two bills, okay? They did the same thing to us last year, you
Yeah.
know? We don't pay a $350,000 bill without getting an invoice, and if they're remiss on sending it until this point, so be it. So, saying that, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'll make the resolution to approve payment to Wayne County in the amount of $356,018 for the operation and maintenance of the Milk River Drain from April to June of 2025, and $358,313.50 for the operation and maintenance from July to September of 2025, for a total of $714,331.50.
Support.
Who supported?
I did, I support it.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Mm-hmm.
They are not charging us any kind of interest on their...
No,
No.
Okay.
They wouldn't have the nerve to do that.
I wouldn't put it past them, though.
Right.
Madam Mayor?
Yes?
Yeah, like he was saying, one time I was tracking it to see if it was gonna change any from year to year, but whatever they do, drainage things out there, nothing changes, so I'm not sure what we could do, to make that
At this
amount
point.
reduce.
Nothing. All right. Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
And that concludes the city manager's report.
All right. Call the audience. Please line up, and you have 3 minutes. State your name. Everybody don't run at one time.
Oh, Scott.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody was asking about our newsletter and the costs and a breakdown of them. So Scott, can you come to the podium here and just explain the elements in the newsletter, the breakdown?
Yeah. Good evening, all. Basically, the breakdown of cost is creative, printing, postage, and it's all gone up. That's kind of it in a nutshell.
Quality of paper.
Oh, yeah, well,
Exactly.
80-pound gloss, it's always been, and page count, too. we did just have it was a 40-page publication, which is the heaviest one we've had so far as page count goes. So that's really where we're sitting with price point. Unfortunately, I don't see anything going down anytime soon. It'd be nice if it does. But with everything going up, it's kind of where it sits. Questions?
Mayor, may I ask?
Yes.
I know that when we initially started this process, this program with the newsletter, we were told that the advertising might offset the cost.
Yes.
Is our advertising offsetting the cost?
Not even close, no. Couple of things that we've got going on from what I see on a day in, day out. There's really not a lot of strong retail in Harper Woods. Some of the businesses that we're fortunate to get involved, like Smart Bus just signed up for the year. Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is involved. The Helm is involved, so it's more either nonprofits and or organizations that are helping out, for homeowners, mental health things, stuff like that.
How are we getting ads? In other words, who's drumming for ads?
Myself and other staffers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah, it helps, like, when everyone's out and about, be a champion of the publication. That's the one thing that I can say, talk it up. We also work with Mount Clemens as one of the groups that we're involved with on the municipal side. The DDA, as well as, the city manager, the mayor, and I know in this case, the mayor and the city manager have helped out tremendously. We've got a lot more involvement in Mount Clemens. I don't know really the reason why overall, but it's there. So my hope is to always, let's champion Harper Woods with what we're doing.
Any more questions?
Thoughts, questions, comments?
And that makes it onus upon us to seek out people to advertise in the Insider. That would help as well.
Yeah, champion.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, now, call the audience, 3 minutes. Please line up and get started.
I just wanted to yell.
How y'all doing? I just got 2 questions. One, I know since I moved here, when I moved here back in 1999, when it came to the curfew, what time do you have to put your animals inside your house? Like dog barking at night?
The noise ordinance is from,
What curfew for animals?
the noise ordinance is from
Yeah,
11 PM to
noise,
7 AM.
noise.
Yeah, barking at night and in the morning time? Huh? What time?
11 p.m.
11 p.m., what time do you let them back out?
7.
What time do you let them back out?
7 a.m.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I got a neighbor, my new neighbor next to me, they let their dog out at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was gonna talk to
See
you
him,
about that.
see.
And my next thing was gonna be, when y'all had the sidewalk redone, I spoke to somebody about that, because, in my house, that tree there, it pushed the sidewalk up. And then what they did to the other lady's house, remember Ann we used to stay at? They put a slab there, and what they did, they tore up my side of the driveway because it was cracked, and then they knocked it back down. I laugh.
You have to laugh to keep from crying, huh?
Yeah, you might as well. 'Cause they were speaking all Spanish, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna get involved in this.
You can see Heather after this.
All right, thank you.
You know who I am, and this is sarcastic thank you, because for the first time, this is going on 66 years I've been in this city. The first time in my life, I had to weed whack my street. Growing in the cracks, it was 4 to 5 inches tall, it was never finished. Thank you on that one. Now, the next thing I want to know, under investigation of my people, it seems that something's happening in our city, and I want to know if this is yes or no, or if it's true. Somebody's getting a $250 fine for something in their house, or the people that are doing the grass that is so high, you're taking the tickets and ripping them up, and you're paying them, but they're not paying on the houses. I want to know if this is true, because as a taxpayer, I'm not paying for this. Now, the next thing I'm going to say, don't do that. It's an investigation. My people are looking at it. Now, the next thing I'm going to bring this up every meeting. The tree across the street from me has to come down. It's 9 stories tall and it's dead. My tree is diseased from it. It has to come down. But thank God I got a letter. I'm covered. I don't have to worry about it anymore. If it falls and kills somebody, it's on you. Next thing. This is where I'm going to give you a great round of applause. Across the street from me. Heather, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a machine that's been there since 1971, needed an upgrade. It's where it turns on and it sucks the water down. Excuse my language is saying that word. This thing, the last heavy rain, 4 minutes. The drain took it away. Completely gone. Now, what was the next thing? No, I forget. Whatever. But I'll just let it go at that. So, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cross.
Good evening, City Council. Hope everybody's been having a good summer. First one is I thought the reservoirs over at the new Eastland deal was supposed to lower our price on the Milk River.
The buildings aren't filled yet, so there's
That's not what the person said here the last time, that every one of them is filled. Every one of them is filled. Okay. Second of all, we definitely need, poor Heather, she sends her people out, which is a squandering of our money for lawns. We have a lot of people here that keep up their lawns. I do a lot of them. And we have a beautiful house deal where we present the houses here. But then you got all these people that play the game. Heather comes out, takes and tags them, and they'll either cut it or New Appearance finally gets them, and then they won't cut it again until Heather goes out and tags them again. The ordinance needs to be changed from 36 or whatever it is to 12 to 18 hours. St. Clair Shores gives you, I think it's 12 or 18 hours. And if you ain't got it done, they got someone there cutting it. But I got neighbors around me. I do a lot of them around me. But I got neighbors that sit there. My neighbor next door to me, last time she cut it was when you tagged her. That was 4 weeks ago. Same thing with two more down towards Lansdowne from me. Same thing. And he never cuts the back. We need to change that ordinance. We need to change that ordinance and crack down on it. We have a lot of people that have nice homes here and try to keep them up. The other thing is that we've had a bad rash of lawn equipment being stolen. I had mine stolen 3 weeks ago, another guy on Wednesday this week. New Appearance has to lock all theirs up. They've stole a lot of theirs. The police are trying to do their job, but we're getting a big rash of it right now. Thank you.
You need to come over.
Hi, Laura Sheridan from Country Club, and I have several comments. I wasn't at the last meeting. I want to congratulate John on the new position, or full-time regular position. It was nice to see all the city council's support behind that. It was great to see some unity like that. There was a comment made in the meeting about mischief makers and how, you know, when we would send emails or make comments, it's in a negative way. That's really not the way it's meant. just like you, we don't get paid either to be out here. We are really invested in our community, and when we make comments, they're really meant to be positive, and we want you to think about them. If not, nothing can change in the current meeting, to just know that we're involved and we do care about the city. The community center, which was brought up last time, and there was a proposal, it's a great initiative, but I also think we need to think about general public safety, and that we have to make sure we have adequate police presence and code enforcement in the city. There were a couple of really good comments that were made last time, and I really feel like we need to get rid of unsafe buildings that are in the community. Also we need someone that's going out and citing people for the code violations. And if they need to have a police officer with them because that's not safe, maybe that's something to look at. I also want to thank the City Council. I support the No Spirits at these community events. Beer and wine is more than adequate for a community event that's family friendly. And just a suggestion on the newsletter, if you want to save money on the print and the mailing, can people opt, like I would opt, to just get that sent to me via email or go online and get that myself, because it's very expensive to do a print for all the residents. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Hi, Council. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Congratulations, John and Cheryl. I'd like to make a comment in regards to a work order that was published to our maintenance crew. It was to actual rental property. However, the debris that was being picked up by the Public Works was actually next door. I'm concerned about our public water now that there's been a overlook under Building 2. I hope that situation can be resolved adequately enough without any poisoning in our systems. I'm very concerned about that. Ever since the helm came on board, I've always been concerned about that, along with the fact that 22 MNRA shots have been removed from schedule. I'm not very happy about the fact that we are partnered in a local high school with a medical facility. There has been a demolition of a vacant building, and I'm sure that John is such a great city manager that he should have provided some rat traps to some of the residents that are nearby, just because of the rat migration that's in an unoccupied building for 5 years. There has been a lot of damage to the deck in my area, and code is not being enforced because there is somebody storing a snowmobile on pallets behind my house. I never had a rat problem until that neighbor arrived. Please do code enforcement. I'm very proud of my city. I ride my bike. It's so beautiful to chat and see the pride. We have pride here. It's not with a rainbow. It's God's rainbow, because Jesus loves everybody and he wants you to know him. Heather has overlooked 8 sidewalks in my area on Buffet on the south side, though maybe 2 or 3 in my area were very minuscule for a trip hazard. 8 other major ones were done. I'd like to remind the council that I'm the one that had to write 2 police reports because of public urination in front of my house from contractors. One of those contractors was doing the sealant and riding my bike around. It's just so poorly done. I'm proud of Harper Woods, but if you can't maintain properly, it will just disintegrate faster. Thank you, Harper Woods City Council and Mayor.
Hi, Sheila Hakeem. I live on Littlestone. I just have a question about the sidewalks. A house on Littlestone, kitty corner for me, totally destroyed from tree roots. I mean, the whole sidewalk. I mean, this has been complained to, safe built. I mean, between the lawn not getting cut and the sidewalks, it's really a hazard. And sidewalks are down for repair, but how do we track which ones are down for repair? It would be nice to see something done on this. This is right across the street from Grosse Point. So you've got a huge area of the street that actually is very well maintained, and then you get up to this one corner. Somebody who was in a wheelchair couldn't get through, somebody who couldn't walk well couldn't get through. I mean, this is in addition to other things. You know, there's a white fence that's toppling over. It's really a hazard. It's been reported. It's open and safe built. It's been like this for 5 years. How long is this gotta go on? So for me, I mean, it's really looking at it. Yeah, I can't avoid looking at it. It's just there. It would be nice to know that somebody is paying some kind of attention. This is clearly from, most of it's from tree roots. You can see it. And it would be nice to know that the city would come take a look at it and make a determination about it. It's not my house, but it does impact the neighborhood. So is there a list of properties that are getting their house, the sidewalks done? Is there something that we can look at?
Yes, there is, yes.
And
You
is it public?
can see Heather at the end of the meeting,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, I would assume she knows about this, but I don't know. Okay, thank you.
Oh, no. I want to put everybody to sleep. Let's go. I'm going to give you the last shot.
Okay, Mike at Lockmer Street. A few things real quick. Quality of life in Harper Woods is being deteriorated. This outdoor music playing from residential properties, it's a problem over the summer again, and it's getting worse, and it seems to be just a few houses that do it, and they have no regard for anybody else, and maybe the music that they play, maybe not your favorite song. So this, we need to ban the playing of music outdoors from residential properties. And second, we're having, I noticed a number of LLCs have sold their property, and apparently what's happening is not lucrative enough as it used to be, probably because of the taxes in Harper Woods. So what we're seeing is more short-term rentals. That's much more profitable. So we need to, I would suggest we need to ban short-term rentals. Dearborn just did that. And so these short-term rentals are becoming more and more of a problem as a way to make money versus LLCs renting out properties. And so this is just going to be an increasing problem, okay, short-term rentals. So maybe we should, I would think, follow Dearborn's example and ban them. They had quite a discussion in Dearborn about this. And also in Grosse Point, they've had quite a bit of commentary, Grosse Point City. And so, and then the third thing is virtual currencies. I don't think the city has any authority to regulate ATM machines because ATM machines can be involved in interstate commerce. So, I mean, I agree with it. I think it's really a nice sounding ordinance, a good thing, but I think we're exceeding our authority to regulate. And I would expect you're going to have legal challenges very soon on this. Congress will probably pass some statutes probably pretty soon regulating virtual currency, but Grosse Point Farms and I think their ordinance is not going to hold up. You're dealing with a very powerful bit of financial entities, and they have deep resources, and And I think they're gonna challenge it, so I think it's nice, but it's not gonna stand, okay? And one more thing is, I've heard comments about panhandlers on approaching cars on the service drive demanding money and tapping on their windows. And this is the school crossings over here. So is this becoming a problem with panhandlers demanding money for people walking or driving down the service drive? So I really don't know too much about it, but I just heard that this has occurred on a couple of occasions recently.
Thank you, Mr. Kadat.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's it. So thank you.
Michael Dick, 18575 Eastwood Drive for the last 27 years. Thank you guys so much, especially Mr. Szymanski, ultimately, Ms. our city clerk, Ms. Frank, without a doubt, and one of my all-time favorites, Ms. Sawicki, without a doubt. You're a pain in the, I mean, yeah. No, your question raising, and that is very, very helpful. It's helpful to me, raising the questions, especially with regards to the finance department, treasury department, whatever. I don't agree with the alcohol thing either. I mean, although I'd like to have a shot every now and then, sorry, you gotta keep it to a minimum. You have to actually try to nip it in the bud, even though the bud isn't there yet. It is prevented to medication. I have to do a shout out ultimately. Heather, without a doubt, between ice and snow and grass and whatever, and trees and busted sidewalks and whatever, she's done a phenomenal job. I still miss my Bill Snyder, but she's done an incredible job really doing what she's been doing. Same with Jason Hammerly. How do you pronounce his last name? Hammerly? Okay. Ultimately, his officers have been doing miraculous things with what they've had to deal with amidst the neighborhoods, our neighborhoods specifically, and they really have been doing a phenomenal, trying to, what's the word, decompress, whatever, de-escalate. They've been doing a very phenomenal job doing that. With regards to, just give me a couple of notes here and I'll be gone. Once again, the years of service, thank you for your questions. The shout outs last month. Oh, and thank you for your approval to the Grosse Pointe Animal Adoption Society, because there's been multiple major problems with feral cats, pets and whatever. Thank you for throwing them a few bucks, because they do a very good job with trying to take care of business. How do I slipped in the word doo-doo also. Anyway, and then last month, there was a person, one of our local residents, his name was Vic, and he came in here and he was actually complaining about the peacock noise, and he was like, he had it on his cell phone. And I'm like, wait a minute, if I was here last month, I would have said, Mother Nature is doing her thing. I was hoping we could actually raise chickens in Harper Woods, because seriously, everybody loves a rooster at 4:30 in the morning. You have to get up at 4:30 in the morning. The noise, you've got the cicadas. Please go get 1,000 gallons of Agent Orange and spray it so you can kill all the cicadas and crickets. I'm being sarcastic. Mother Nature's here for a reason. I love being harassed by the peacock last month. I'd love to put forward money for a decibel meter to help the officers doing their job to actually write tickets for decibel meters with the that I have to deal with every single day in Harper Woods. Thank you so much.
All right, call the council. Mr. Toussaint, you first.
I think I'm going to first. Give me 1 second here.
So you didn't have anything? Let's move on.
Yes, I do. Well, for one thing, made it to the movie Family Nights, and they've been very nice. I wish more of you participated, especially since a lot of you have opinions on what should happen and what shouldn't happen. I think we should come to some of the events. You know, if you're going to say what shouldn't happen, you should come. It was nice outside, they have a nice sound system out there and a nice movie. The Pocket Park, we did have a groundbreaking there. That was definitely very nice, and looking forward to it coming together. The library is having so many wonderful programs. My kids and my grandchild will be coming this the week of the 24th. I look forward to taking them to some of the events over at the library. The change in the point made had put an ad in the paper, the Grosse Pointe News, thanking Harper Woods for providing diversity to their school system, as well as the clinic over at the high school. Very supportive of that. Glad to hear that. There was the GPAC was on the Sunday morning news the other day about people using their name to collecting animals about animals and trying to rip people off. I'm glad that came to light, so we'll be very aware of that. One other thing is, come to our events. We're offering popcorn, free popcorn, and free popping. It's cheaper than going to the movie.
It's
That's
not
all.
free.
Thank you.
It's not free. It's a request a small donation.
A request for all donations. Yes, I do donate too.
It is. It's a donation. Okay.
Outside.
Parking lot over at Wayne County Community College.
All right.
All right, and since Mr. Tucson mentioned the movie series, I just want to say I am a little disappointed with the turnout. I haven't been able to attend, but I have driven past and noticed that there were not enough people to enjoy the kind of movies that they're putting out, families movies. I think that they did Wicked last week, which I thought would have a real big draw. A little sad to see that there weren't quite as many people, but I think that comes up to the fact that we need to have more direct contact method for reaching residents about these things. And we've talked about it numerous times. We even tried one company that didn't seem to do anything for us. But I know that there are things that we talked about, a one-way kind of Facebook page where the city could put things out on an actual city-run Facebook page, and people could learn authentic information directly from the community. I thought that would be valuable for people that use Facebook. I also had the opportunity to talk to our police chief about something that I had been told is happening in some of the points where they have, and I know it's happening in East Point as well, where people can get text messages from the city, and not Nixle, but where you can sign up to get text messages to your phone, or direct emails directly from the community. And I know Eastland does it. I've heard that the Grosse Pointes do it, and I think that might be a very valuable thing. We've talked about some direct contact methods, and in a 2.5 square mile city, I think that it's great that the police put out posters, and now I've seen a few pop up for upcoming events, but we shouldn't have to do posters. In our small community, we should have a more direct way of getting in touch with our residents, and I really want to push that idea. National Night Out was beautiful, had a beautiful evening, nice music, a lot of fun events. My grandson would not come out of the bounce house. And he was gathering balls that were bigger than him to take into the bounce house. Just a good time was had by all. But I did notice that the Johnston Park, there's a sign that's right by the memorial area, the memorial flags and the fire, and it's being obscured by a beautiful hydrangea. I'm hoping that we could look into possibly moving the sign in front of the hydrangea, because the hydrangea would look lovely behind it, but you can't read what's on the sign. And so I just wanted to point that out, and basically that's it, and I'll see everybody next month.
Okay, I'd just like to thank the Finance Committee, or Finance crew, for their great audit. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. I know I got to shout out to Heather. Her loader is ordered, and on its way, so it's good to see money going back into the DPW, which is great. And then just watch out for construction season. Please be careful out there.
Last week, I went with our DPW director to a public meeting put on by MDOT about the bridges going across the freeway, specifically the pedestrian bridges. On the, I know on the Kenosha Bridge, there is this flyer. It's got a QR code. I put it out on Facebook a couple times, and they want to know people's opinions. They've done, they did in the fall and in the spring, they did some surveys to see the crossing of those bridges, and the Kenosha Bridge is rated poor, but that doesn't mean it needs $10 million worth of work. It just is the condition of the bridge. They said they closed it because it was hit by a truck and they immediately closed it. We did have a discussion about how they talk to the city. We do have, Heather got a lot of email addresses so that there's better communication. We do not own those bridges. We are not in control of them. If you see something wrong, we can email them and let them know, but I have a couple of these printed if people want to look, and there is if you don't have a QR scanner on your phone, there is some links you can go but they want to know what's going on. They want to know if you're using the bridge, and we made them aware that we're having a development, that, you know, where the schools are, what's going on, that we're putting in this community center, that there's going to be more people crossing. So that you know, and these are the things they need to know in order to, so if you're reading that they're tearing down the bridge, that was not said at all. So I have a few extra of these if anybody would like them.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Just a few things. I was pleased to see that construction is taking place at Picard. So they've knocked down the school now, so it's a lot of the building parts are sitting out there right now, so that is taking place, so they're moving forward with that. National Night Out was really nice. The bands were really nice. I know one of the bands that played, they said they also do the song for the football team. So when you're out there watching the Lions, they do the song for that. And I think they're also on the commercial. There's a commercial I saw on Channel 4. I think it's the same band that we had here, so I was very nice, but very, very pleased about the types of bands that we get coming to our events. Okay. Our next one, I think there's two things coming up. There's the Blues Harper Woods Jazz Festival. And that's August 23rd, and I think there's something else on a Tuesday or something. Concert this Thursday. Okay. So I know there's something else coming up. So, you know, please let your neighbors know. You know, come out. So all these events are free, and you know, come out, enjoy the events. Glad to see you. Glad to be out there. Enjoy the rest of August because school is coming. So in another couple of weeks, many of us will be back to school, the students, teachers, and everybody. So enjoy the rest of August. You know, we got a couple of weeks left. And I believe that's it. Thank you.
All right, that leaves me, and I just want to thank everyone for coming out and enjoying National Night Out. I want to give a kudos to our police department for all the hard work and putting it on and making sure that the citizens had a good time. So thank you. And also thank the Taburns for doing a drive-by with their megaphones to announce to everyone that National Night Out was happening. I think, you know, if we had a few more Taburns, we would be a much better city. I thank you guys very much for your positivity for the city. Congratulations to the finance department. You all have been doing a yeoman's job, and we truly appreciate it because we're in the best financial situation that we've been in for many, many years. So that's because you guys all work together and look out for the best for our community, and that's all we can ask. is that we all strive to do the best that we can do and be the best that we can. With that,
Madam Mayor,
Mr. Jennings,
I'd like to make the motion for adjournment.
Support.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is.